Hello and welcome to A Cup of Conversation on BRT2 TV. My name is John Ghazi, I'm your host for the show, and today on the programme we are with the Chair and the Vice Chair of the British Resident Society, the BRS, and I'm very honoured to have Danny Dugan and Stephen Day with me on the programme. And it's going to be an interesting show talking about the BRS and what you can learn from these two very, very talented men. First of all, Danny and Stephen, welcome to the programme.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's the first time for you, Danny, first time we've met today. Thank you for joining us here at BRTK today. And I know that you are now very newly elected Chair of the BRS. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I hope you have a great term. How long have you now been selected for?
It's a term of 3 years. So
3 years.
From April this year, 3 years forward.
And Stephen, ex-chairman, you are now vice chairman, busy man in the BRS, and a very, very popular person. I know you are well known.
Thank you.
Also as a columnist for Cyprus State newspaper.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people follow your witty remarks. And it's great to have you again on the programme. I think how long has it been? A few years back now, hasn't it, since you were last here?
Oh, yes, it will be the time. I think the last time we did I've seen you since, but the last time we did a talk together on your show was the time of the Azankoi Flower Show. Do you remember that?
Yes,
the first year it started.
Yes, and that was many years ago, moons ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you back in the studio, Stephen. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here.
Now, Danny, let's find out more. Before we talk about the British Resident Society, I know that you are from Northern Ireland.
Yes,
is that right?
correct.
Where exactly?
From Belfast.
From Belfast.
Yes.
And you were born and you grew up there?
Yes. My first 15 years of life were spent in Belfast, and I left at 15 to go to England and join the British Army. And I joined the Army at 15 and left at 60. So I had 43 plus years there.
Yeah, amazing. So a career in the Army. And the normal question is, what brought you to North Cyprus? How long have you been here on the island of Cyprus?
My wife and I bought a property here in Karşıyaka in 2002. We got the keys in 2003, and for the next 13 years or so, we went backwards and forwards as swallows. Really, 3 weeks in early summer and 3 weeks in late summer, and then locked the property up for the rest of the year as we were still working in the UK. But 4 years ago we decided that we would pack up work and try and make a go of it, retire, and so we came to live here full time in April 13.
Right, so that was a good decision, I hope, on your family's behalf.
Yes, it is. We love living here. We think the people are lovely. We think the food is good. We think the climate is wonderful, and we think the scenery is beautiful. It's very difficult to beat, I think. You also drive on the proper side of the road, and we use 3-pin plugs. What more does a man want?
What more can you ask for? But I have to say that I interviewed a few. I've interviewed people from Ireland before, and I have to say, from one island to another island, I think that there are similarities, don't you think? I mean, okay, even England, in the UK, an island again. Ireland hospitality, I think, travels across the seas, don't you think? I think that the Irish in particular are very lively and a very similar, I don't know, how can I put it, temperament maybe to the Turkish Cypriots, lots of enjoying life, enjoying shouting and screaming, talking in loud voices, and just really enjoying life to the full. Do you think that's similar?
I think it is. I think they're gregarious, both sets, but also there are other similarities because you have an island divided, 2 different languages, 2 different cultures. Yeah. 2 different currencies, and so there's probably more in common than we think.
So home from home in a way, even though you probably travelled a lot during your 40-odd career in the army.
Yes.
I suppose Ireland and the island of Cyprus are not too dissimilar.
I never got to serve here whilst with the army. I did all of Europe, just about every country in Europe, and the Far East, Australia, Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Hong Kong, Seoul, Korea, around that area, but never Near East, never here.
Funny enough, though, normally people who were in the army they at some point do come to the island of Cyprus, and that's how they have a link. Or they served here years ago, and then all of a sudden they decided when they retired to come back to the island. So you never had any link with Cyprus before?
No, not at all.
Unusual.
Yeah, but it started off, I think, my wife and I looking at retirement, eventual retirement.
Yeah. And
having been in the army and been abroad a lot, I really thought it'd be nice to retire somewhere where you could get some warmth into the bones in old age, and maybe live a little bit longer, enjoy life a bit more, rather than damp, dank UK. And so we were looking around, and we looked at, looked at Spain, looked at the south of France, looked at Italy, and I became aware of Cyprus through magazines and the rest of it. I thought, well, why don't we go and have a look at northern Cyprus?
Yeah.
And we did, and we fell in love with it. It had all the infrastructure we needed, and it was affordable for us. And so we came once to have a look, we came a second time to have another look, and the third time we put a deposit down on a bungalow in Karşıyaka.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
And we're loving it.
Fantastic, great news there, great story. Now, Stephen, I'm sure you probably get bored of repeating yourself about my background and this, that and the other.
No, not at all.
But you've been here for a little bit longer as a permanent resident here, haven't you? How long have you been on the island of Cyprus?
Well, as a permanent resident, since January 12th, 2006.
So 11 years?
Yes, 11 years as permanent resident. Before that, I was backwards and forwards for 20 years before that, renting places when I came out
wow.
here. So yeah, long connection with the island. My sister lived in Limassol, 1958-59 during the Iorka crisis. My brother-in-law at that time was chasing General Grievous around the Troodos Mountains with the Royal Engineers. And so I first came to the island when I was 11 years old in 1959. I don't remember much about it. I wasn't allowed out of the house they had in Limassol off base, and the only time my sister could go out would be if British troops escorted her to do shopping and what have you. So they used to take the wives in groups because of Iorka.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So you have a very, very long and interesting background with the island of Cyprus. And I know that in the UK you were a politician.
Yeah. Now why do you have to go and ruin it? It's been a perfectly pleasant interview.
Well, are you hiding the fact that you are, or you don't want to be involved with politics now after the the recent election in the UK?
Yeah, and the least said about that, the better.
Yeah, definitely.
But because everybody's entitled to their own opinion, aren't they?
Of course.
Yeah, I was an MP. Yeah, for 15 years. Yeah.
Not that we're going to talk about politics, because I don't have any political inclinations on this program whatsoever, but out of interest, because a lot of things, a lot of people who come to the island from the UK, from abroad, who speak about the government, and of course, obviously, we're used to, I mean, I was born in the UK, we have I'm used to the system and how things should work, and obviously things are different here. Small island is not always what you know, but who you know. But I'm
glad you said that, not me.
Yeah, I'm saying that now, as a Cypriot. Excuse me. But I want to ask you, Stephen, as a columnist, do you keep your finger on the pulse on the UK politics and politics here in the TRNC? What's going on here?
I try to do.
You try to?
Bear in mind that a lot of people who I was in Parliament with have either lost their seats, have retired, or passed away. But I still have quite a few contacts there. One member of Parliament who is the Conservative member for Altrincham and Sale, and is the chairman of the Conservative Backbench Committee called the 1922 Committee, so therefore fairly influential in Parliament and within the party, the Conservative Party, has actually, and he's no need to do this, and I think Danny will agree, has been of great help to the BRS if I contact him. So yes, I do maintain some contacts as best I can, but not like I used to be able to do, of course.
Yeah, but you can sort of like, you know what's going on, you're keeping your finger on the pulse.
I hope so.
Yes, very interesting, and I'm sure you've got lots of comments to make about the governments in here, or in this country and in the UK as well. But enough about that. We don't talk about politics, do we? Yeah. We want to talk about nicer things like the British Friends Society.
Yes, that's right.
And I was listening to your interview with my colleague Denise Phillips earlier on, and I was interested to hear about how the BRS actually was established not long after the peace operation in '74 on the island, and it was actually, could you say it was like a breakaway group from the...
No, it was the division of the island that caused the situation where we had to, the British in the north had to re-establish another organisation legally in the Turkish Cypriot area, which of course eventually becomes the TRNC we know and love today. But it was established in law as a club, so it operates as a club under TRNC law, and it was because it was divided that you couldn't maintain membership in the organisation that was now the British Residents Organisation in the south. So we had the British came together and formed the BRS.
What would you say is the main criteria for the establishment of the BRS? I mean, was it to get everyone together to help sort out problems, to support each other? What was the idea behind the BRS originally?
I suspect, I can't say for certain because I didn't know the individuals involved, but I suspect it was largely brought together to give a sense of community for people who were spread across the north of the island, a sense of identity and a social programme. But over the years, and particularly in latter years, and especially today, as I'm sure Danny can elaborate, the BRS has become something more than that. And I think it's been a natural progression, and a bit like Topsy, it just growed. Yeah, I think in truth.
Well, it has grown over the years, and it's a very, very popular, well-established group, association here in the TRNC. Now, Danny, coming back to you, you are now recently, well, back in April you said, elected as the chairman of the BRS for a 3-year term. What was your original involvement? I mean, when you were coming as a swallow back and forth from the UK, were you a normal member then, or how did you get involved with the BRS?
Yes, I mean, in the early days, I think when we first arrived, and first bought a property, we thought it would be a sensible thing to do to join the British Resident Society, because they had the knowledge and experience of living here, and we were going to be very new to the thing, so any advice or assistance that was available we would gladly welcome. So we did that initially, but then because we were only spending 6 weeks a year every year, we let that lapse, and we looked at other forums online and that type of thing for our information.
Yeah.
And it was when we decided that we were going to move here on a more permanent basis 4 years ago that we again joined the BRS, and then very quickly I was invited to become the treasurer, which I did for the last 3 years.
He was an excellent treasurer, honestly.
Very
Doubt
good.
the BRS has had a better one, and that's takes nothing away from our present treasurer. But Danny brought good order and accountability in every respect.
Maybe it was my military training that did that. But I couldn't have done too bad a job because they invited me to stay on as chairman at the end of my 3 years as treasurer.
So you got into the BRS committee quite early on when you were, after you moving here permanently, treasurer now to chair, which is a completely different job, I suppose, because as a chair you now have to sort of organise everybody instead of just the accounts as a treasurer. So I'm sure it's a good job. You're doing too good a job that you got promoted, I think, in a way.
Well, yes, you might say that, but I couldn't possibly comment. I think the thing about having a job like treasurer or event secretary or membership secretary or one of these other roles is that you're responsible for one aspect. I think as a chairman you need a wider view. You need to keep an eye on all of the different aspects of work. But I don't see my role as interfering in everything, really. It's more, I think, of a hand on the tiller, setting broad direction and policy, setting the goals, if you like, and monitoring how we achieve those goals, and tweaking the tiller where it's needed along the line. Be a good listener, I think, as chairman also, and really listen to the arguments for and against, and normally the answer should flow from that. The obvious answer should flow from that.
Yeah.
And of course, if there are disagreements from time to time and you need to take a line, then, or a harder line, then that's what you need to do. But generally speaking, we're all grown-ups, we're all volunteers, we're not paid volunteers, we all give up our time and our energies to this organisation. And we come together as a committee to try and provide advice, impartial advice and assistance to the wider membership.
you have over 1,600 members at the moment, which is a staggering number. But obviously not everyone is active when you have meetings or when there's an event going on. Obviously you don't have 1,600 people coming together, but that's a very commendable number. And we were, Denise asked you about how much of a percentage do you think that is of representing the expat community here, or the English expat community. And you think maybe about 10%.
Yes.
Which isn't a bad number, again, when you think about it. I think it's still a good figure. 10% of the expat population member of BRS is still a good number, I think.
But if you think of that as a number, and then think of those who got spouses who are non-members, and then if you think of the website, the information that we provide, and the numbers of non-members who get information from that, the reach of the BRS is far greater than the numbers themselves. So maybe 10% of the Brits in Northern Cyprus would be members, but the reach is probably half of the number here.
Yeah.
Everyone reads it for as a source for information, impartial advice, up-to-date information on a wide range of areas.
Yeah. Very, very important, very, very useful information that you're giving to everyone there. Stephen, I mean, you know, when you talked about the society back in the 70s, obviously things have changed, progress,
enormously,
life has changed, things have changed, you know, needs, demands have changed. But one thing that is constant, obviously the name, as the name implies, British Resident Society, to be a member, you have to have a British passport, is that correct?
Yes.
But it could be me, couldn't it? I'm a Cypriot with a born in England.
Indeed it could. And Jan, you as a British passport holder, as a fellow Briton, and more importantly, as a Turkish Cypriot, as somebody from the country that is kind enough to be our host, we would welcome every British passport holding Turkish Cypriot into the BRS with our arms wide open and be grateful for it, because we are, in that sense, we're all together. We're together in the sense of being British. We're together in the sense that we have a joint interest in what is the success and the peaceful nature of Northern Cyprus. We all share that as well. So we should be working together, literally, and sharing the benefits of the BRS.
And we look forward to your membership application shortly.
Thank you very much for that. I'll get the application in as soon as possible. But we'll talk about the applications towards the end of the interview, so how people can join, if they want to join, after watching this programme. But I want to ask you now about, what do you think are the most important services that you give? There are lots going on. I mean, as a Swallow, for many years before living here, you obviously knew a lot about the island before making that decision, although some people might not know as much as you did before taking that permanent jump. And things might not go according to plan, or you might not, you know everything that you need to know about coming to live in North Cyprus. Things might not go according to plan. Are you there to help in whatever it could be, excuse me, sorry, legal documents here, or where to go for certain applications for certain things, whether it be work permits or residency permits, or I don't know, anything? I mean, what is the service that you think is that you provide that's most important?
It's a wide range, really. Everything from living here, residency, pets, motoring, buying a house, renting a house, letting a house, buying a car, importing a car, medical, dental, whatever. There's a wide range of advice in all those areas. We're not in a position to endorse any particular product, nor any particular service provider. We will give you the information, and it's up to you as a reader, as a resident or potential resident, to take from it what you will.
Yeah.
Our job, what we think, is really to provide that information that's accurate and current, and give it as wide as possible, make it available to as wide as possible an audience we can. And most of our information, like that, is in an open area. It's not in a members-only area, so it's available to anybody who looks at it.
Yeah.
And at any time you go onto the website, you'll see there's a number of members looking, and non-members looking, and the number of non-members greatly outweigh the membership. So it's reaching a very wide part of the population.
That's very interesting to learn. A lot of people want to know things. I mean, maybe people who are logging on aren't even here, maybe from the UK or something, who want to look and see what's going on in North Cyprus, or if they want to move, what can I find out? And of course, BRS is there to give information that they need, and it's a very important service that you do give. Stephen, I mean, you've been with the association. I mean, how long have you been official member of?
I can't remember.
Can you remember when you first started?
It was
and don't tell me 1975, please. Don't say go from the beginning.
It's cheeky.
You're far too young for that. You're far too young. You're far too young to be a member. But
it's a good job of good friends, isn't it? No, I think it was either 2007 or 2008. I can't remember precisely.
So not long after you officially came here on a permanent basis
involved,
as well.
Yeah, I got involved.
And maybe, I mean, I'm asking you back up with your, politician hat on again, because a lot of things change in the government. I mean, our governments change a lot, as it is. Ministers change, and so sometimes the goalposts change in some of the rules that affect the expats. Are you maybe somebody that people turn to and say, "Oh, come on, Steve, help us knock on the right doors"? Obviously, you must know the right departments to go to for certain things.
But as you say, one of the great difficulties over the years that I've been trying to do that sort of thing, ministers change. And also the under-secretaries change because they go, if a different party comes into power, the under-secretary, who is really, British would think of an under-secretary being a permanent civil servant. It's not like that. So when you get there, you have to start at the beginning with the issue, instead of picking the issue up from where you left it with the new minister, which is extremely frustrating. But that's the way it is. Yeah. And some things don't change here. The two things don't change. That kind of situation where it therefore makes it difficult. It's difficult for the ministers and the under-secretaries to get on top of their brief. Never mind being able to assist you, which I think there's always a will so to do. But I also think that one of the things that never changes is that all the years I've known Cyprus, all the years I've lived here, whatever government is in power, the uncertainty of life here, especially for Turkish Cypriots, carries on forever and ever and ever, as the talks go in Geneva currently, go on forever and ever and ever. And that's something else that doesn't change. So if I was to opt, and you were to ask me what two things would you like to see change, it would be, let's have permanent under-secretaries in the departments in government so you get continuity, and let's put an end to these ridiculous talks and recognise the right of the Turkish Cypriot people to be once part of the world again.
Here. A round of applause there, I think, for a great speech there from Mr.
My
Stephen
personal view, of course.
I agree with you 100%. I think that we all know, that we all feel, most of us feel the same way as you do, Stephen. But coming back to the BRS, Danny, I mean, you're quite relatively new to this position, and yet you're doing a good job now promoting the BRS on radio and television. Do you have a new agenda now for the BRS? Because as a chairman, obviously you've got certain things that you've got to keep going, but you can also maybe add things to your own agenda. What's in the pipeline now for the BRS? I mean, how do you foresee the BRS in the next couple of years under your leadership?
Well, I think the first thing to say is that in knowing that I was going to be elected chairman, or hopefully elected chairman, I produced a 3-year plan to provide the direction of travel, to look at those areas I thought could be improved upon or added to add more value to the membership. I then produced an action plan that would take us through the first year. And each member of the committee has been given an action plan for their particular portfolios, so that they knew what I was expecting from them in the next 12 months. We then produced a code of conduct so that we all knew what was expected of us that way. And all these plans were put in the members only area of the website. So the wider membership, if they want to hold us to account, want to see what our plans are, want to sort of say, why aren't you doing that better, or what's your progress on this? Or are you really, is your conduct measurable? It's all there on the website. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, we have monthly committee meetings, where all items are, all portfolios report on and what the progress is discussed, and the minutes of those meetings are put on the website as well. So we think we know what we're doing. We're trying to improve the welcome that people have. We're trying to improve the website to make sure it's more detail is covered and it's more relevant and current. We're trying to improve the cultural and social activities that we run as a society. Last year, for instance, I think we did 9 or 10 events in the year. In the coming year, from April, this coming year, we're closer to 30. So we're offering more activities. We're offering a wider variety of activities. We have appointed a team specifically to take forward our discount brochure list, so all the members who have a current membership card can gain a discount on a wide variety of services, shops, organisations, and your Carolina Starlux cinema for you, and plus the hospitals and other medical services and the rest of it. We are looking to improve the lot and the support we give to those who are in the isolated areas, in the likes of the Carpaths, Machelli and that sort of area. We do have representatives there, but we want to do more for them, or invite them, make it easier for them to come to what we're organising here. Yeah. We have appointed an ambassador, Prue Lundy, who many of your viewers will know, has been a BRS member for 20 odd years, and was very much involved in charitable work and the blood donating issue for the BRS over that period. Yes. She has returned to us this year as a BRS ambassador, and she's also agreed to head up our charity fundraising activities. So we're going to do quite a lot of different things. We're going to maintain some of the things that we were doing, but try and enhance them a little bit further. When I took over excuse me, in April, 5 of the committee stood down, and so we had 5 new people coming in. We are more representative now, where I think there was 7 men and 3 women. We're now 5 and 5, and so more ladies have their own dynamic, their own way of doing things and suggesting things, and so that's good. We're being challenged all the time. Why are we doing this? Why aren't we doing things this way? So that's really positive. We're more representative that way. I think we're more broadly more transparent. And I think we have my 3rd committee meeting. We'll be in the chair 3 months at the end of July, and that's the first time we will look back over those 3 months and have a review on how we're doing, and hopefully where we need tweaking or our plans need tweaking, we'll do that and crack on for the next 3 months. So there's a lot going on, a lot more activities, a lot more updating, and hopefully we'll be making a difference. If we're not making a difference, we shouldn't be doing it.
I'm sure you will make a difference. It's early to tell yet. You're only 2 or 3 months into your time. Going back to you saying about Prue Lundy, who is a lovely lady, worked very, very hard over the years, especially for the blood donation campaign, which I know that the BRS holds, I think, twice a year. Every 6 months, I think you have a BRS blood donor day.
Every 3 months now.
Oh, every 3 months now, okay. And when you say charity work, will that be one charity, or will you be working for different charities at different events?
No, what we hope to do is look at the charities that give more to a greater selection of the population. So rather than niche charities, we're looking at bigger things. Maybe, for instance, Gurney Hospital, which supports a huge number of people, not just British, but everybody.
Everyone, yeah.
You know, if they need kit or equipment for specific areas, then we would look to try and purchase from the charitable fund those things that enable them to deliver a better service to their patients. We have done in the past. We have bought blood donating chairs, we bought refrigeration units, we have bought endoscopy, the sort of keyhole surgery equipment for them. Yeah. We have been largely involved in dialysis and the dialysis unit for Gurney Hospital. So it's those sort of things that would benefit the society at large, rather than smaller niche charities I think we'll be looking at. We haven't produced our strategy document yet, but Prue, myself and others will sit down and develop that strategy, hopefully this month, so that we can begin to raise the funds for much needed kit and equipment.
fantastic. Great news there. So good luck with all your fundraising work. So for a very, very nominal fee, for membership fee, annual fee, you can actually get a lot of benefits being a member of the BRS. As you said, you know, you just quickly said about the cinema, or you know, health benefits, or going to restaurants and bars. So it's quite good discounts there actually for people who want to use them, especially when it comes to things like the health sector. Very important. I mean, sometimes you know, that little extra discount can help a lot if you're, you know, got a lot of treatments to go through. So it's very good. All the information is on the website. So if people want to see how they, I mean, you know, maybe they might not know where can I get benefit, or which companies or which locations is it all listed on the website?
It is. In the members only area of the website, because clearly it's for members.
Right.
There is a discount brochure. And at the moment, it's on a constant review and being constantly updated. But at the moment, I think it's listed alphabetically. So you'd have all the banks listed together who give us discounts, the yappy markets, the hospitals, the hotels, the restaurants. They're all listed by categories in there. And it can range from, you know, 5% off your motor insurance to 30% off your hospital bill. And it covers just about every aspect of living here.
Fantastic.
Some of the hotels will give us 20% off the room rates, 15% off all your food and drink in the restaurants.
Very good.
30% off the spa day thing. So apart from those discounts, also every event, every social event, cultural event that we organise, and I'm saying there's about 30 this year, there is a member's price and a non-member's price. And the difference is the 40 lira membership fee. So if you attend one event, you've got your money back. Your money back. And then you can attend all the others at discounted prices.
The truth is, Jan, and I count you in this, anybody with a British passport who isn't a member is missing out. Because there is nothing other than benefits from it. Hopefully, some of which you hope you will never have to benefit from, like a big health bill, for instance.
Yeah, of course.
But you know, it's important that there is something like that to help people in extreme circumstances, especially if they're retired. So this is so important. And then all the other benefits, I think anybody who isn't a member, get yourself down. It's 40 TL a year, as the chairman says, that people can't afford not to join it. They'd make back their what they've paid in subscriptions, 40 TL, in a matter of 2 or 3, well, a couple of months if they use the discount list. And so, and after that, it's profit.
Yeah, after that, it's a win-win situation.
Well, also, in addition to that, we've also introduced a monthly newsletter. This month it's 9 pages, 9 A4 pages. So everything that's happening, everything we're aware of, things that are nothing to do with the BRS, but we've learned from other sources that are going to impact on the lives of the wider expat community, we put in that. So you're being constantly updated, as well as the website. You're going to get this email every month telling you what's going on, and promoting our events more fully.
I do believe that Danny's enthusiasm, new vision shared by the committee, the new committee. I do believe that because they have that, that the BRS will continue to develop in the way it has over the years. In other words, like, as I said earlier, when you asked me why was it set up like Topsy, it just growed. It's still growing.
It's still growing, yeah.
And I'm sure the present committee will ensure that that remains the case. I think it's fair to say that people like Prue Lundy, you know, who's dedicated to the BRS, and particularly, as you said, and recognised the blood donor issue, people like Prue were instrumental in assisting that first burst of growth and establishing the BRS. And I think over the years, the BRS has been blessed with the volunteers who stepped forward. Danny's predecessor, David Brown, extremely dedicated to what he did. Membership really began to burst forth under David's chairmanship. It's bursting forward even more under Danny's. And I said there's a pattern there that members of the BRS and the British community in general, really, I think, and I can say this because I'm stepping down from the BS hopefully in a matter of weeks, having been there so many years, I can say this. I think the British community actually owes a debt of gratitude to many expatriates who've been involved in the BRS and tried to serve their community and indeed the TRNC as best they can.
I think you've done a great job. I mean, you are stepping down, but not from the BRS altogether, just from the committee, yes?
Yeah, I'll always be a member of the BRS. My word.
After all this promotion, you don't want to leave the BRS, but you are going to be stepping down from the committee in a few weeks' time.
Yes.
But you've got great Danny here to lead you into the next few years. So you've done a great job. I think it's very, very difficult with any group or association when you have, especially a large number of people, a different voice from each head. And of course, everyone, well, I want this and I want that, and I don't believe in this. So, to organise everyone takes a lot of patience and willpower to keep everything under control. But I think you've done a great job. I mean, there's been ups and downs with every association here on this island, and anywhere in the world. I think you've got to have a bit of give and take to be a good leader for this. But you're in a good position now, strong position. You've got a good few years ahead. So, where can people meet you? If people want to find out more about the BRS and meet you, because obviously you have your own committee meetings, but until the next social meeting or cultural meeting, how can people come and meet you and join? Can they join any time of the year?
Yes, you can. We have clinics, weekly clinics at Lumbuza Market and Lapta. Yeah. The Dostler Bar and Restaurant and Al Sanjak, the Hut in Gurney behind the Law Courts. We have Essen Tepe and Boaz clinics as well, and most of them are Saturday mornings. A few are different days. Full details of all the clinics, their opening times and where they are on the website, so people can find out from there. www.brs.trnc at brstrnc.com. Also, the application form to join us is available on the website, so people can download the form, fill it in, pop along with their passport at any clinic, and it's a 10-minute process.
That's all you need, just your application form and your passport, and you're a member.
And yes.
As easy as that.
And 40 TL.
And 40 TL.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, don't forget.
Do you get a card after you are a member so that you can show to get those discounts at those? Like if I go to my local cinema and say I'm a member, then that 10% off. You get a card. So once you're a member, you get that card. You can use it.
It's an annual card. The membership lasts for a year, but expires on the 31st of December each year. So if you're to join now, you'd get 6 months worth for this year. We offer a year membership, or an annual membership, or a 2-year membership for those who are swallows and are not available all the time to renew. But yes, you do get a membership card signed and issued at the time you join, and you would simply show that to any of the discount holders.
Sounds very, very good. And as Stephen said, anyone out there who's got a British passport and is not a member is missing out on the BRS. Any future plans, forthcoming events that you'd like to mention now, maybe? I mean, what's coming up next on the agenda for those who are members of your group?
Well, if as I say, there are 30 odd this year, within 2 days, I think, the new committee had organised a 2-day cultural trip to the south. They went to Paphos, Tomb of the Kings, the Mosaics, plus other Aphrodite, this, that and the other. It was a great tour. We followed that up with an 8-day one to the Black Sea area. We have done day trips to Lefka, Gazelyurt. We have done one to the Karpaz. We're the big event over the next couple of months is undoubtedly our summer dance. It's at the Merit Royal Hotel in Al Sanjak on the Sunday the 10th of September. We've just agreed a wonderful 5-course menu. We've agreed really good wines and spirits. We have a wonderful duet to play us and sing us through our meal. And then we've got a 5-piece Turkish live band with trumpets, trombones, guitars, a lead singer who'll put Mick Jagger in the shade.
Good old rock and roll.
And it's going to rock us through to midnight. So if there's one event that epitomises the BRS, it's our summer dance, and this year it'll be bigger and better than ever before. And if you're going to join, you still have time to join and attend the dance.
So tickets are not sold out just yet, so you still have time?
No, we got ticket. One of the benefits of moving to a Sunday this year was that they were able to give us a bigger area because there's less people using the hotel. So where in the past we've been restricted to about 180 members attending, this year we could take up to 300 or so. So the tickets are on sale, they're still on sale, and there's time for you to get yours.
Well, it sounds like an offer I cannot refuse. So that's one of the most important things coming up in the near future. But obviously, once you look at the website, you can continue and see what's going on. You can follow all the updates, fun things, serious things that affect the expat community here in the TRNC. So it's a very important group to join, and you make it sound like it's fun as well. So I think everyone, out of interest. Why are you stepping down, Steve? Is it enough now after all these years?
I think.
Is there a special reason?
I think that there comes a time when you think, wait, we've got a new committee. They're all enthusiastic. They've got ideas that are different to ones I would have had, but I support what they're trying to do. And I think there comes a time where you say, well, it isn't selfishly, I've done my bit, I've had enough. I think it's time, sometimes the older hands have to step back and let the new hands have a go in their own way. Do you understand, John?
I understand, yeah.
You have a time, I think, in whatever you do where you're involved in something, and there comes a time when you have to recognise it's over. It's not just in your own interest, but in everybody's interest. It's time for change, and I think that time has come.
Well, I think that the BRS, has learned a lot from you over the years. You've done a great job. I know that it's been a very tumultuous time over the years,
very kind of
with lots of things going on, lots of changes. But it's not an easy job, but you've done it very well. And
but I enjoyed every minute. You see,
that's good. That's the most important, and that's why
makes it bearable.
You're here today. Do we know who is going to take your place as vice chairman?
You'll have to ask the chairman.
Is it going to be a special committee meeting now after this?
It'll be someone from within the committee, but there's no rush to do this.
You're right.
Everyone has to. We're a new committee, and we need to develop as a committee, and someone will fill that role from within the committee in due course. But there's no rush to do it now.
And I'm sure we'll keep a track of what you're doing by following your column still in Cyprus.
Yes.
You'll still be there.
Still be upsetting some folk in that and pleasing others. It's a week.
Well, every Saturday, Cyprus State newspaper. You've got to get it just to read Stephen Davies' column. But great. But good luck in the final weeks of your time as vice chairman of the British Friends Society. And one last question to find out. Anymore, the best way, as you said, to go onto the internet, brstrnc.com is the website? brstrnc@gmail.com. Yes. Fantastic, and they can find more information. If you're a member, you get more information from the website, but do go along and meet one of the committee members, or just go along to the next event coming up, which could be the summer dance in September. But have a great time. But gentlemen, thank you very much for coming today to the programme. Good luck with your term as chairman.
Thank you.
Danny, and I hope to hear from you again soon. Keep us informed about what's going on. We'd like to share it on our radio station as well. Any events that's taking place, do send us an email and we'll share it on the radio as well with our listeners. And Stephen, good luck with everything that you're doing as well after
always a pleasure,
down.
my friend.
Look forward to your next column.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, Danny, as well. And with that, we've come to the end of another Cup of Conversation here on BRT2 TV. A big thank you to my guests, Danny and Stephen from the BRS. And until next time we meet in these studios in Lefkosha, take care, go well, and bye-bye.